Ten,
Standby to take studio.
7, 6,
Standby
5,
camera 1, mics 1 and 2.
3, 2, 1.
Take studio.
Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of MCTV. My name is Sean Flickinger.
And I'm Tanner Gazzaloni. On today's show, we take a look back at MCHS's annual Christmas dinner. We'll introduce you to the new admin team, and the office and sports will recap the JV boys volleyball season, but first, our top story.
Back in November, MCHS played host to the second round of parent-teacher interviews for the 2010-11 school year. This event is a staple in most schools and allows staff and parents to get together and discuss a student achievement. We sent reporter Cade Cornell to talk to the parties concerned about their views on PTs.
November 25th was the latest parent-teacher interview. Many students and parents came to this event. They gathered with teachers to talk about their students' successes and challenges while going to school. We caught up with two of these students, Dylan Thressel and Sean Flickinger, to get their insights.
I feel, to tell you the truth, I think they're a waste of time. In the long run, yes, maybe, because then my parents actually might help me. Yeah, it helps, but I just don't like it for some reason. My parents literally tell me each year they don't want to go.
After them, I usually get yelled at for not doing all my work.
We also caught up with parent Peter McLaughlin and teacher Greg Beltenstein. They had this to say.
Well, you get to know what your kids are doing in class. You get to know if they're goofing around. They also tell you how their marks are, what assignments that they're supposed to be doing, and if they miss assignments, you'll know. Well, you can tell your child what they're slacking on and how to improve their grades. It's just a matter of them doing it.
I guess for me, the biggest advantage of parent-teacher interviews is this allows me to kind of get a one-on-one with parents, and if parents are worried about a student's performance, they can come and see me, and we can kind of hopefully come up with some solutions that'll help that student improve their mark as the semester progresses. I think in some cases, really, you can come to a parent-teacher interview, but in the end of the day, the student has to make the change. I think the interview can be a catalyst toward the change, but inevitably it's the student who has to, kind of come to the realization there needs to be a change if their mark is in jeopardy.
For MCTV News, I'm Cade Cornell, reporting.
Just before the Christmas break, MCHS held its annual Christmas dinner, in which the staff school prepares a wonderful turkey lunch for students heading home for the holidays. We sent reporter Tim Evans to give us a brief look on how the dinner went.
It's really good. I'm happy that the staff and everyone could help serve it and stuff, and it's really good.
Students from Vanier and MCHS were treated to a turkey dinner prepared by the MCHS staff.
It's excellent. It's very good. We're really enjoying it. It's always a treat to come. We always have a good time when we come.
This tradition consisted of
turkey, vegetables, potatoes, stuffing, and bread.
It's good just to get together because it's not very often that we do that anymore.
I think it's really good.
What's your favorite part?
My favorite part would probably be just getting together with my friends and eating. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
For MCTV, this is Tim Evans reporting.
Earlier this year, we sent MCTV reporter Braden Rook to get some information on the new administration team here at MCHS, Mr. Wade Michael and Mr. Dwayne Hayes. However, since the report has been finished, Mr. Hayes has been transferred to another school in the division. Here is Braden's report.
At MCHS, filled with new experiences and new faces. A couple of the most important faces you'll be seeing a lot around the halls are our new grade coordinators, Mr. Dwayne Hayes and Mr. Wade Michaels. I was able to get a chance to sit down with both of them, as well as Principal Mr. Vic Peterson to learn more about how they came about their new roles here at MCHS.
Last year I was approached by the senior administrative team at Greater St. Albert Catholic, and they told me I was moving. And so I said, where? And they said, down the road.
MCHS was talked to me about in June by our associate superintendent, and they asked if I would come up and take over the vice principalship here at the school.
Within the division, the expectation is that we administrators will move about from school to school to get some experience at different levels and in different environments.
With their new positions here at MCHS, I asked what they would like to accomplish during their first semester.
In the first year, I want to really make sure that grad is taken care of, that everybody has a chance to graduate. I'm trying to meet all those grade 12s, get to know them all. That's my first and biggest goal for this year.
The first thing is to immerse myself in the building to make sure I get the what's going on part. After that, it's to work on the building itself to make sure nothing is kind of crumbling. And then I want to look at how the kids are learning and get in the classrooms and get to know, what's going on in each of their subject areas.
Mr. Vic Peterson explained to us what he thought about these new members and what they are bringing to our school.
I think bringing new ideas, new information, some from their previous experience and background, helps to expand what happens here at Morinville Community High School. We're fortunate with Mr. Michael in that he is certainly familiar with Primo, which is our key feeder school, as they call it, where most of our students have come from. So having that background knowledge and understanding of those students and helping us understand what worked well there and translating that to our level.
With that in mind, our new members of the team give us some final words on their experiences so far at MCHS.
The best thing that's happening so far is that the kids here are great, the teachers are great. Working in this building has been a really good experience, and I look forward to continuing that and learning how things go.
Just really enjoying being here, getting to know everybody. Steep learning curve. Every day I learn something new. I learn something new about everybody in the building, and I'm really starting to enjoy it.
Here for MCTV, I'm Braden Rook.
Lately this week, we've had some very cold weather with a lot of snow.
In fact, the blizzard that hit earlier this week has been considered to be the heaviest snowfall in the Edmonton region for the past 30 years.
With the weekend just around the corner, here's MCTV meteorologist Greg Brownstein to let us know if things will improve.
Well, unfortunately, gentlemen, I have to say that by the weekend things will not improve, but there is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for early next week. Let's take a look first at our current conditions across the country. Up north, very cold, minus 29 with a mix of sun and cloud in Yellowknife and Whitehorse. Iqaluit, cloudy and minus 21. Vancouver, fairly mild today, a plus 8, but that's really going to be a problem with all the snow they just received over the last couple of days. Across the Central Prairies, a little bit below average, minus 16 for Regina, minus 11 for Winnipeg. Across Central Canada, fairly average, minus 6 with a mix of sun and cloud. And over in the eastern provinces, mainly a lot of flurries, plus 1 in St. John's and Halifax. Let's take a look at the current conditions across the province. Today, the name of the game is cold. Most of the province will be flurries all over the place. High level is going to be mainly cloudy, not any flurries there, but if you look across the rest of the province, it is going to be really cold with the influence of that Arctic high pressure system that's coming in from the Northwest Territories. Pretty much the warmest place in the province today is going to be Banff at minus 14. Let's take a look at our current conditions for Morinville right now. Morinville, the current conditions right now, minus 23 with some light flurry activity. Wind is out of the northeast at 10 kilometers an hour. Relative humidity is at 69%. Sunrise this morning is at 8:44 a.m. and the sun will be setting at 4:41 p.m. So we're almost back to 8 hours of daylight. Let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. 7-day forecast for Morinville. There you go, folks. Snow and cold for the next several days. Minus 23 today, minus 23 tomorrow, and then pretty much the entire weekend, minus 22 and snow on Saturday, and you see the rest. A little bit of an improvement on Tuesday or Wednesday. Gentlemen, that's your weather. Back to Sean.
Thanks, Mr. B. Now we'll take a look at sports with a look back on the JV boys volleyball season. We were able to talk to a few of the players and the coach Bogner about the heights and the lows of the 2010-11 season. Here is Evan Clues with the report.
This is the the JV boys volleyball team in their 2010 season.
Our team has done pretty decent so far. Yeah, we're definitely up there in the standings. We placed third in our Westlock tournament this last weekend. It was pretty good.
For our next game, this will be our first game in about 2 weeks, but I still think we'll do good. I think we'll destroy.
Young guys this year. We have 3 grade 11 people that played last year: Brandon Schmidheisler, Sean Harrison, and Barry Mercier. So they show a little bit of a leadership role. But I don't know if we'd have a star player.
As the team developed throughout the season, players began to recognize the individual talents that they brought to the table.
My largest contribution to the team is probably hitting.
For me, probably my serves. I've been consistent all year, and serves is a big part of this game.
However, despite the team's belief in their own ability, Coach Trevor Bodner believes that work is still needed.
Definitely our serving and our passing still. That's one of the biggest things, and probably a confidence thing. Sometimes we're really good, and then sometimes when we get down, it's hard to pick ourselves back up.
Mr. Bodner's awesome. He knows what he's talking about. He's taught me a lot since I've came to the team.
We already have. We're looking to improve at zones. We'd obviously like to make the final in zones, maybe win it. That would probably be our goal this year, I would think.
This was Evan Clues reporting for MCTV News.
Coming up next, we have Andrew Goodwin with a new edition of his movie segment, Raging Reviews. In this edition, Andrew takes a look at recently released DVDs, including Dinner for Schmucks and the latest in the Resident Evil series.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Raging Reviews. On today's show, we are doing Resident Evil and the new movie Dinner for Schmucks. Now, Resident Evil it's a brand new installment. It's not something new. It's got other 3 movies in the past. I don't know what they're trying to do with this movie. They've kind of strayed off from the main topic that they're trying to accomplish. The storyline did get complex. They changed not so much the characters, but the way the movie was supposed to be played out. They did extend it. They manipulated it so that there could be another part to a movie, so they could keep on creating Resident Evil movies. Good thing, bad thing, it's a bad thing. They lost focus a lot in the movie. The storyline was complex and you couldn't catch on from the previous movie. The 3rd installment, they tried to connect with it with flashbacks. Have lots of zombie killing. They got some pretty cool little visual scenes where it's like slow-mo like Matrix, where the rain's falling and a little battle scene goes on. One of the most horrible endings I've ever seen. I have to give this movie 2 film reels out of 5. Dinner for Schmucks was one of the funniest movies I've seen all year. It's funny because of the complex character that these actors play. What also makes the movie great is its complex storyline. I have to say complex because it's not simple. It's not, when you involve many different characters to play into one storyline and it has different leads off, it creates a more funny movie because there's more diversity. You can have different situations and it inflicts different moods, but from past history of each character, and it's they have way more in depth. You can get way more in depth to that character's life, which you can pull out funnier aspects. And I have to give Dinner for Schmucks 5 film reels out of 5. It was seriously one of the best movies. Thank you for watching another episode of Virgin Reviews. Turn in to our next episode where we got more movies and more reviews.
Well, that's the show for this week.
Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to watch again on February the 17th.
We'll have more news about the MCHS for you then.
Sounds good. Mr. B, how's the weather looking for the rest of the week?
Unfortunately for this weekend, it's going to be rather cold with flurries in the area, but it will be starting to warm up early next week on Tuesday, so there shouldn't be any reasons why students can't show up to write their final exams. So speaking of final exams, gentlemen, are you guys ready for finals? Have you started studying yet? Or
I haven't yet, but I'd like to.
I don't really need studying. I think I got this whole thing pretty much down, but I'll just review.
You're just that good, are you?
Yes.
Wow. Nothing like overly confident students to do really well
Going
in
with
exams.
confidence to pass.
High fives on that, gentlemen. That's awesome. Anyways, so there you have it from all of us at MCTV News. I'm Greg Bautestein.
I'm Tanner Gazzaloni.
And I'm Sean Flickinger. Have a great afternoon.
And don't forget, it's Iqaluit, not Inuit.